We're the only country club in the United States that's built a golf course in 3 different centuries. And that is something to be very proud of as a member here at Philadelphia Cricket Club. Our St. Martin's golf course was built in the late 1800s. The Wissahickon golf course was designed by A.W. Tillinghast, and it is one of Tillinghast's finest designs and routings, and we're very proud to have that right here at the Philadelphia Cricket Club.
It starts with what was 18 holes here in St. Martin's, just outside the window where we are, where we hosted the first and second U.S. Open to be held in Greater Philadelphia in 1907 and 1910. Ultimately, as golf ball technology advanced, club member A.W. Tillinghast, among others, recognized that we needed a longer golf course. And the club went out and bought just under 400 acres a few miles to the west in Flourtown, PA, and built the A.W. Tillinghast designed Wissahickon golf course. Opened July 4th, 1922. And that had the vision of hosting championships. Took a little bit of time, but ultimately the PGA Tour and the Truist showed up there 103 years later and proved to be a great test of golf for the world's best male golfers. Tennis on the Great Lawn outside our window here as we sit in St. Martin's. The U.S. Women's Open in tennis started here before it moved to Flushing, New York.
As a rackets player, I get a thrill from playing tennis on the same grass courts where Mala Mallory won 6 of her 8 Women's U.S. Open singles titles.
You know, that's just another example of the foundation that we built for national championships across numerous sports in America.
Whether you're on the tennis courts that hosted the first several decades of the U.S. Open Tennis Championships, or walking down the fairways of St. Martin's, which hosted the 1907 and 1910 U.S. Open, or teeing off at Wissahickon, which was designed by club member A.W. Tillinghast and other club members who were influential in golf course architecture in the history of America, you are immersed in that history every time you step foot on campus.
I think being championship ready actually is something that we focus on every day. When we host large events like the Truist, the Constellation, what have you, it's a little more chaotic and there's a little bit more to do, but the mindset isn't any different than it is every day, which is we're trying to deliver the best experience we can every day to every person that sets foot on the property.
Again, on a macro level means architecturally, the playing characteristics of the golf course have to match the caliber of the play. And for the most part, that occurs on Wissahickon, and the final score and the scoring shows that the course holds up to that, where the bunkers and the landing zones are all per their players. Keith Foster did a great job of that during the restoration. From a conditioning standpoint, it's one that you have to provide great experiences day in and day out over a long period of time for people to know that you are championship ready, that you can host these type of events. And I'm happy and I'm always thrilled that our employees pay attention to the fine details that it takes to maintain a course at that level. Our members and guests get that experience pretty much every day here, weather permitting. And those are frontline employees that are paying attention to micro adjustments and how they're turning, how much water they're putting down. And I think the fact that we've had championships with all the governing bodies in American golf now is a testament to what we produce day in and day out here.
Our facilities at Flourtown for golf are one of the finest facilities certainly in the world and certainly in the state of Pennsylvania. We have 36 great holes of golf, we have an incredible practice facility, and we have a staff that creates activities and programming that are beyond reproach.
Hosting these events really challenges our staff and helps them get to constantly at a high level. I think they enjoy it. I think it challenges them and they like being challenged. They rise to the occasion each time, and when others see that, they want to be part of it. So attracting new talent, it helps in hosting these events, just getting our name out there and seeing what they could be part of.
When you think about the benefits to the staff of us hosting these kinds of events, I'll relate it to an anecdote I use oftentimes with newer staff, and it's called the purple cow, which is every cow looks alike. So it's hard to pick one out and then come back 30 days later and identify the one that you might have picked. But if the cow's purple, you can definitely identify it. Well, these events help make our staff purple. They help make our staff stand out. Whether it is at a club that's more well-known because we hosted the event, or because they got to do things in helping administer the events that other staff maybe haven't ever had the opportunity to do. Each one of these things helps make our staff a little more purple, and hopefully that leads to better opportunities for them in the future.
Our staff is the backbone of every one of these events. They're champions themselves. Their attention to detail, their commitment, their just desire to perform at a really high level. It creates a great experience, not just for the fans and the players, but for our members also.
We want the same attention to detail and effort to be given to a 20-person small member outing or tournament as we would to the Truist. They deserve the same amount of attention, the same amount of love, the same amount of attention to detail.
I think it sort of speaks to the high level that we operate at each and every day of the year, and that makes us ready to be able to host events on really short notice. Something specifically from the squash standpoint, one of our sort of flagship events was the Chestnut Hill Classic. We hosted for the first time just a couple of years ago. We had a 1-month runway into hosting that event, and so we brought to life this idea of being championship ready.
Championship ready for us is just having all the pieces in place, preparing, executing. It took us a long time to prepare for this. Putting a staff together was a big deal, putting a committee together, working with the local MAPTA board as well as the APTA was a lot of time and a lot of effort and a lot of teamwork.
Big benefit to the members, if I go even back to the 2015 Professional National Championship we hosted, we had, I think, representation from 40-some different states in that. Those are all club pros from around the United States. So when our members travel to other clubs, they're widely recognized as a club that, did their part to give back to the game of golf, and those clubs are appreciative of our members. They're welcoming of our members. If I go to the USGA Floorball Championship, again, more than 40 states are represented in that. 312 players, all good players at their respective clubs. Again, we're recognized amongst American golf as an elite club, and not just an elite club to be elite, but an elite club that has fun playing sports at the highest levels, whether that's golf or rackets. And obviously with the PGA Tour event, you have millions of eyes on the golf course, on the club, and on our Philadelphia market on a big scale. It's really rewarding to be able to show the golf world, the greatness of cricket and the fun that we have here.
Some of the benefits for our members in hosting these championship events is they get to be up close and personal with the players and with the event itself. They get to participate from a volunteer standpoint or even a spectator standpoint. It gives them pride, it elevates our brand. It allows them to, bring their guests and show this is our club and this is what we're hosting.
This is the place to be, and it's our responsibility to make sure it stays that way.
It creates a great sense of awareness and brand for the club. And I think that when the awareness of a club and the brand of a club is significant, that leads to significant member pride.
As a membership, we're incredibly proud of the facilities that we have here and our ability to have those facilities utilized at the sport's highest level. And it's an honor to give back to the game, whether the game is golf, whether the game is squash, whether the game is tennis, paddle tennis. All those sports, we're lucky enough to be able to enjoy them. We're lucky enough to have members playing at a very high level that are competing in regional and national events. It's certainly incumbent on us to sort of pay back and allow those sports to be hosted here at the highest level.
Yeah, I think these events don't happen without the involvement of the membership. Almost all of them require some significant level of volunteerism. Our members always step up to the plate when it comes to that. It also requires support of hospitality and corporate options, right? These things don't happen in a vacuum without any money. You need to generate revenue in order to run these things. Our members have done a great job stepping up, helping drive revenue for us to be able to support the success of these events. So honestly, like, it's not one or two people who make the decision and say, hey, we're gonna have this event, and that's what makes it successful. It's the collective effort of the entire membership in many different ways that is what makes these so good.
Really took a village is one of the sayings that we used with this. That really came together as we got closer. A lot of communication, a lot of over-communication, a lot of independence for people that were really remarkable and talented to do the things that they did best. And I think recognizing your own strengths and weaknesses and putting people in place to complement the group itself is really how it works well, internally and externally. And our PCC staff especially showed great, the club showed great, and our committee showed great.
Yeah, I think the titles sort of fall away when you get into the mode of putting on the championship, what those titles being whether your staff, your member, your board member, your outside volunteer, whoever it is. You create that ad hoc team that's going to lead us through to a successful event for whatever the sport might be. And I think we saw that with the Truist, with thousands of volunteers. And it's that teamwork and the ability to focus on the mission at that point, which is hosting that successful event, that is just, it's in our DNA.
Yeah, it just shows their commitment to the community. And as a staff member, I mean, yeah, you absolutely want to see that. They're willing to walk right alongside the staff and help out and be part of it. It's exciting.
We had members write letters afterwards. We had players write, send emails and follow up, and the APTA and follow up, and I just feel like everybody had a good experience that was here, players included. Really enjoyed the vibe and the camaraderie, which is what we were shooting for.
I think our venue has everything a player needs. The court space is state of the art. I think it has a really great environment for watching on our two glass courts. There's character to the place. It feels homey. It feels like it has a history, and I think it makes people want to play there more. I think compared to other venues, it doesn't just feel like you're going here, you're playing a tournament, and you immediately want to leave. You actually want to take time to kind of walk around and explore, and it feels like a place that is comfortable to play in. People will always remember this event that was here. It was a little bit different. It went really well. It was just a great vibe, and I think this club is all about making it a great experience for people, whatever it's going to be.
So some of the most rewarding feedback that we've received has probably come from outside of the club. We know what an incredible place PCC is. And live streaming to a global audience, to a packed crowd, to Olivia winning 2 titles has sort of put us on the map in a different way. People knew what PCC is because it's hugely historic, renowned, traditional club. But doing something like the Chestnut Hill Classic sheds a new light, and sort of maybe one that people thought was very traditional and stuck in our ways, saw that we're actually revolutionizing the sport. We're helping be a part of a new trend, a very attractive, fast sport that's now in the Olympics. So to have that global audience see what we have, the quality event that we do run, been sort of a great highlight for the event and hopefully for events moving forward.
You know, the feedback from the club industry is more informal. So I would say that if you consider the number of texts and emails and comments on some of my social media platforms, the number of people that have reached out to say, place looked great, great job, never been higher. So clearly this thing resonated. This Truist event resonated, as have the other ones, but this one more so because of the television coverage, because it's been seen worldwide. It's been amazing.
One of my favorite memories is right before I played, they kind of introduce you. And I remember standing in the wings and looking out and just seeing all of the faces in the crowd that came to support. And I was super nervous, but that just made me so thankful that everyone had come out, even if this was just the first round match.
Playing in a place that you know the people are supporting you and cheering for you, and like seeing all these little kids that I coach like holding signs and supporting and cheering, that was definitely the best memory.
I ran into so many people that I haven't seen. I probably ran into 100 people who I maybe haven't seen in a while, and I got to kind of reconnect. I left the range one day at 12 o'clock to walk back up to the golf shop. I didn't get to the golf shop until 4. Because it literally took me 4 hours of stopping and talking to people, and to me that was my favorite part of the event.
Well, if you're not moving forward, other people are doing so, and they're going to pass you. And I think when you talk to our club leadership, that's a mantra that is very top of mind.
Keeping, strong membership numbers is important, and therefore you want to keep strong interest in your club at all times. Whether that's hosting the Truist Championship, whether that was hosting the National Platform Tennis National Championship, whether that was adding the sport of padel. We've done a number of things here at the club to make sure we maintain a competitive advantage, maintain the strongest levels of interest in the club, and also hopefully maintain the very best experiences for our members, our existing members.
Being a member at a great club, a larger and larger piece of your value that you get is feeling like you belong to something special. These are the kinds of things where the world of golf has anointed the cricket club special because they've asked us to host these things. And I think that transcends into our membership and our staff. When we get a chance to do these things, I think it just makes us feel like, wow, we got chosen more so than anybody else, and that just adds value to being here.
We have a large and diverse membership with a lot of interests, and I think it's incumbent on us as a club to be leaders across the full spectrum of the sports that we offer, and for us to be able to give back to all the sports that our members enjoy. It's really our duty.
I can't wait to see what history we haven't even made yet, and to do what I can to make it happen.
Hosting championships isn't just something we do, it's part of who we are. It reflects our values, our commitment to excellence. It connects our past to our future. PCC isn't just a place, it's a legacy.
It is a real honor and privilege to be a member of the Philadelphia Cricket Club. As members, we are stewards of this club, and it is incumbent upon us to leave PCC better than we found it every day and for the future.